Hello and welcome to another video by Aventago. Thank you for coming here. Now, if you want to know what I'm all about, I specialize in three key areas: growth mindset, internet marketing tips, and financial literacy. If you're interested in that, make sure to follow me. Anyway, I've got my trusty notes. Let's get into the video. How to become a millionaire according to Warren Buffett's tips to building your wealth. Warren Buffett is universally regarded as the greatest investor ever and has a net worth of over $100 billion. However, this wasn't always the case. Warren Buffett got his start at just 11 years old when he made his first investment buying 3 shares of City Service Preferred at $38 per share. I know if you clicked on this, you want real life steps on how you can build wealth towards your first or maybe even next $1 million. Today we are going to be talking about 4 lessons for Warren Buffett to help make sure you are on track to getting your first million. All I ask of you to do in exchange is to follow me on social media. Thank you very much. The links will be in the description down below for you to do so. Now then, what are we waiting for? Let's get straight into this right now. Number 1, always have the mindset of a student and continue learning. One of the most important lessons from studying Warren Buffett is the importance of being what he refers to as a learning machine. Warren Buffett has said that he's never seen anyone become extremely successful without always trying to better themselves and upgrade their skills and knowledge. And this isn't just learning for the sake of learning. The ultimate goal is to become one of the most skilled people in your given career. Because once you reach that level of talent in your chosen career, you can expect to see your earnings skyrocket, since you can essentially charge whatever you want for your services and people will gladly pay for it. If you're the best doctor, lawyer, plumber, real estate agent, or best salesperson in your area, you can charge hundreds and maybe even thousands of dollars per month, depending on your profession, and your customers and clients will beg you to take their money. Even Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, agrees, and this is what he says about how being a learning machine has made Warren Buffett a massive success. And quote, Warren Buffett being a continuous learning machine, the record would have been absolutely impossible. The same is true at lower walks of life. I constantly see people rise in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines. They go to bed every night a little wiser than they were when they woke up. And boy, does that habit help, particularly when you have a long run ahead of you. Number 2, develop an entrepreneur mindset. Many people don't know this, but before Warren Buffett was the world's most successful investor and CEO of one of the world's largest companies, he was an entrepreneur as a kid and as a teenager. Warren Buffett was the master of side hustles before side hustles were even cool. When he was young, he would buy 6 packs of Coca-Cola bottles and sell each bottle for a nickel, making about a penny on each bottle sold. He got upgraded to a pinball business. One of his most lucrative ideas involved setting up pinball machines at barbershops. He bought a pinball machine for $25 in 1946 and built a small empire out of it. Warren Buffett's proposition to the owner of the barbershop was simple. Let me put this pinball machine in your barbershop, and while people are waiting to get their haircut, they can pay a nickel to play. Any money would be split between the owner of the barbershop and Warren Buffett. This business was a hit from day one. The first night after he put the pinball machine in the barbershop, Warren Buffett collected $4 in nickels. After a week of it, he had $25, enough money to buy another machine. Soon enough, Warren Buffett had pinball machines operating in barbershops all across Washington, D.C., where his family lived at the time. He then ended up selling the business, which he started with just $25 for $1,000 a year later. While pinball machines have gone out of style, the lesson from Warren Buffett's entrepreneurial ventures as a kid and a teenager are still as relevant as ever. Starting some type of business, even if it's not your full-time gig, can be extremely powerful to getting towards your first $1 million. The math behind this statement is very compelling. Let me explain what I mean. Let's say you're an engineer and you make $47,000 a year at your day job. With this $47,000 a year, let's say you're able to save $5,000 a year after paying for all your living expenses. If you're able to have a business on the side making $30,000 a year, whether it's online or offline, you were able to increase your yearly savings by a massive factor. Let me explain. Your salary from your job covers all your expenses. This means that any additional income you have from your side business can be used for savings and investing. Now that $5,000 you used to be able to save each year gets an additional $30,000 added to it, meaning you can now save and invest $35,000, which is greatly more than you could before you had your side hustle. This is going to help you build wealth significantly faster. Number 3, know the power of compound interest. It is much harder to get that $1 million goal without having what is referred to as compound interest work on your behalf. If you're only saving money and not investing it, it will take significantly longer to hit that $1 million mark. Warren Buffett frequently talks about when he learned about the magic of compound interest, it totally changed the way he thought about money and building wealth. In fact, compound interest is so important to the success of Warren Buffett that his official biography is titled Snowball, because he compares compound interest like rolling a snowball down a hill. The snowball starts small, but picks up more and more snow as it rolls down the hill, until at the end of the hill it is huge compared to the snowball that started at the top of the hill. If you save $25,000 a year, it will take you 40 years to save up $1 million. If you just have that money sitting in a bank account and not earning any interest. However, if you can invest that same $25,000 a year in the stock market and earn 10% return on that money, you can cross that $1 million target in just 17 years. Less than half the time it would have taken if you weren't investing. In this example, you would only deposit $425,000 and would have earned $588,000 in investment returns. This is the power of compound interest Warren Buffett is talking about. Once you understand this concept, you will no longer view that brand new car as only $50,000. You will think about how the true cost of the new car is hundreds or thousands of dollars, and maybe even $1 million of wealth you're missing out on due to you not being able to benefit from the effect of compound interest on that $50,000. Just as the power of compound interest can work wonders for you and your investment account, it can also work against you if you aren't careful. As Albert Einstein said, quote, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it." People that have large amounts of high interest debt are having compound interest worked against them. This is why people in America have been paying on their student loans and credit card debt for years, but still own just as much, if not more, than what they were originally borrowing. One of the biggest lessons from Warren Buffett that you can apply to your own life is to make sure compound interest is working for you and not against you. Number 4, live simply. In order to even have money to invest, first you have to be able to save money. Typically, the more money people earn, the more they upgrade their lifestyles with luxury possessions. But Warren Buffett takes a different approach. Despite being one of the world's wealthiest people, he lives a simple and modest life. He currently resides in Nebraska in a home he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. And he only earns a base salary of $100,000 as a chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. The math is very simple. The more you spend, the longer it will take to earn that first $1 million. If you live simply and minimize expenses, there are opportunities to save, invest, and earn from compound interest. One of the world's most important keys to building wealth is avoiding what is referred to as lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is where the more someone earns in their job, the more they tend to spend on living expenses. As they get paid more, people tend to get nicer cars, live in fancier apartments/houses, go on fancier vacations, and eat more expensive food. Lifestyle inflation is like running on a treadmill. You're running faster and faster by making more money, but you aren't going anywhere in terms of savings because your expenses are increasing just as fast as your income is growing. You don't have to be extreme, but in order to truly build wealth and hit that $1 million mark, you have to resist the urge to have your living expenses increase at the same rate your income grows. It's simple math. The bigger the difference between your income and your living expenses, the more you'll be able to save and invest, and ultimately, the quicker you'll be able to hit the goal of having your first $1 million. The number one best-selling book is Reopen for new applicants. Develop your intuition and earn a full-time income in just 1 year as an online or offline business owner. Click the link in the description down below to get access to my new book, Skills Scale Sustainability. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye for now, this has been Eventigo.
Make sure to click those links in the description. Peace!